Welcome to D.A.N, where we take the more risky aspects of upcoming crypto projects and break them down to bite-sized pieces. So today, before we even start, we're going to talk about Fame MMA. And I have to tell you that this is not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor. These are just the things that I'm going to do. And also, before we get going, we're going to be talking about two aspects. We're going to be talking about the private sale and also just a regular sale on a regular exchange for crypto and digital assets. So there's two ways to play it, but so there's no disillusion. To get into the private sale, it's going to cost thousands of dollars. Now there's more of an asymmetric reward. There's also a heck of a lot more risk. And if you don't want to do something like that or don't have the funds, this is just a good primer to talk about Fame MMA token and where it's going to go. And I believe it's going to be massive. And there's a couple of different reasons. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what is Fame MMA, first of all, because I didn't know until I did the research. Also, we're going to talk about why do they need a token? And we're going to take a look at Fame MMA and the organization, break them down by the numbers. Also, we're going to talk about play-to-earn gaming, merchandise, franchising, i.e. going global, NFT staking, and the tokenomics for the Fame crypto token that's going to be released relatively shortly, less than a month. And then also we're going to talk about private sale versus a regular exchange via TENSET. And lastly, we're going to go over and break it all down into the pros of getting into this project and, of course, the cons so you can make the best decision for your investment. So first of all, let's talk about it, shall we? What is Fame MMA? Because I had no idea what this is. I thought I would, but no. This is Fame MMA in a nutshell. So I like to think about Dana White from UFC, the president. And he talks about, listen, not everybody's going to sit around and watch a cricket match or soccer or football or tennis because that's just not what people are into. But he says, but darn near everybody is going to sit around and watch a fight. I don't care where it is, people will watch it. And I don't know about you, but I'm mesmerized right now. These two behemoths are just wailing on each other. Fascinating, right? And it is just part of our inner psyche, right, for fighting. But this really breaks down what is Fame MMA. Fame MMA is the biggest in Europe freak fight federation, all right, and a premier combat sports organization that hosts events for celebrities, personalities, top YouTubers, Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok superstars, and famous pro athletes to fight each other. So, like I've always talked about, the hardest part for new projects is the marketing. If you can get this into the public consciousness quickly and they can understand what it is, you're going to go places. So if you've got some YouTubers, Instagram, TikTokers, which already have millions of followers built in, and in their contract, it states for them to promote the Fame crypto token, how far do you think it's going to go? And we'll get to all that in a little bit. Fame was founded in 2018. It's run 13 large events, and the next one is on 14th of May. Okay, so that is essentially, in a nutshell, what is Fame MMA? Now let's talk about why they need a token. And we're just going to break them down by the numbers as they compare to other organizations. So right quick, this is the light paper. The Fame token will be used to power the entire ecosystem with all services and transactions. Let me say that again, all services and transactions. It'll have strong utilities and use cases in many areas, such as pay-per-view, gaming, marketing, and sponsors, fighter salaries, merchandise, franchising, NFTs, promo offers, and staking. So if you're looking at a token that does it all, this one does it all. And you hear different crypto projects that come out and like, what does it really do? What's the utility? Does it have utility or is it just numbers go up? This one actually does, and we'll break into it. So here's the areas that they want to do, all the things we just talked about. And here's the big thing that I found fascinating, especially after listening to Jack Mallers' speech at the Bitcoin conference in Miami. And what he talked about there was he implemented Lightning Network for point-of-sale services and also for Shopify. And why he did that was because it was so expensive for the merchant, 3% transaction fees, and they're getting robbed all the time. Now they're able to use the Lightning Network. So when I saw this, it all made sense because how much fees could they reduce by not using pay-per-view systems? So currently each gala or the actual event is run by Fame MMA using pay-per-view system. Our sales for accessing the pay-per-view were only possible via traditional online payment systems, debit, credit cards, bank transfers, Blick, I don't know what that is, PayPal, Stripe. Recent events have experienced tremendous success with hundreds of thousands of sales, exceeding 500,000 licenses setting new EU records. So again, how much could you save if you use a crypto token, which you can do transactions in a millisecond? You can do it globally. And the transaction fees are very low, depending on the crypto platform that you build it on. And we'll talk about what that platform is in just a little bit. So this is by the numbers. They can accept the native tokens. See right here, it says average pay-per-view sale, last 3 events, 507,000. It's pretty good, I think. But how does that compare to other things? And also look at this. Average seat sale, 98%, which I don't think that's where their main money is. I think it's probably pay-per-view. I could be wrong. But if we want to compare this organization to the biggest, which would be UFC and boxing, let's take a look. So they had, again, how much was that? 507,000. So pay-per-view buys, the biggest was Mayweather versus Pacquiao. It's kind of boring, but whatever. It's 4.6 million. And if you can see right down here, these are pretty big numbers, right? 807. So 507,000, it's not the very top, but it definitely isn't the bottom. So look at these. I remember these fights. Dos Santos versus Mir, Silva versus Weidman. Oh, that was a great one. Jackson versus Griffin, Uprising. These are all in the same ballpark as what Fame did or is doing already. These are the last 3 events, and they're only growing because right now they're in Poland and they're branching out into the EU, parts of UK, Spain, Italy, all those different places. So how big could they potentially be if they're just located right now in Poland? Now pay-per-views, wherever it is. But I think it's a pretty big play to get into that one. So moving on, in our final evolution of our payment system, we will accept only the Fame token. Let me say that again. In the final evolution of our payments, we'll only accept the Fame token. A payment system will be developed to automatically convert purchases made with fiat directly into Fame. A system will be linked with a centralized exchange. The entire process will be automatic and not visible for the regular client. This will allow the Fame token to bring volume and onboard many new users who may not be familiar with crypto or even know how to purchase a token. And that's what I've been talking about for the longest time. For us to really advance as far as an asset class, we don't need to see how the pork is made. We don't need to see that. All we need to see is I punch a button, I pay for it, I get some airdrops or NFTs or whatever else I get, and I don't see the inner workings. That's what I'm talking about. And if they can pull this off, that will also be huge. Anyhow, this would lead me to my next points. And this is where the meat and potatoes comes in. Gaming, play to earn, merch, franchising, staking, NFTs, and tokenomics. This is pretty interesting. So Fame plans to release 2 games in 2022, and they're both play to earn. The first game is already in the final stage of production. I will tell you, it's to me, it's just kind of a goofy game. I mean, I'll be honest with you. The first game release can be expected in July this year. The second game will be powered by advanced photogrammetry technology. What is that? I'll tell you in a second. We're already in touch with a leading company in this area. So this is like the first game. And okay, I mean, it is what it is. But at least it'll be mobile. And I think that's pretty big for play to earn. I mean, look at how well Axie Infinity did. And that's kind of, in my opinion, just kind of a goofy game. I'm not a big gamer. But I have personally seen the second game, and it's awesome. It really is. So the question then you're having is, what does that second game potentially look like? And what is this photogrammetry tech? Well, first of all, let's break it down. Photogrammetry is the science and tech of obtaining reliable information about physical objects and the environment through the process of recording, measuring, and interpreting photographic images and patterns of electromagnetic, radiant imagery, and other phenomena. Very long way to say they partnered up with MetaHero. That's really all it is. So MetaHero, they're going to scan these people, they're going to put them into the game. And I've seen it, looks awesome. It looks like a game you'd actually want to play. So that would break it down into that piece. Sounds pretty good. So marketing. Organization with a strong brand and reach, we're able to provide a huge range of marketing media and activities. I think they will. And it states here, we're in touch with many influential stars where we can serve as the middleman for additional promo activities. All marketing sponsorship agreements will be paid in the native Fame token. This is where they win. And this is what really perked me up. Contracted fighters are all celebrities, personalities with a significant following. Each fighter is required to promote the Fame brand in the build-up to their fight. This gives the company powerful capabilities, considering all fighters already have their own loyal audience that can be targeted, which keeps the costs low. First of all, I don't know any of these people. I'm not in the EU. I don't know any of them. But I will just say, if we take a look quickly into the next fight on the 14th, I know that this gentleman will be fighting Robert Carras. He's a champion and multiple world record holder in Ironman triathlon. Great, good for him. I think, yeah, this is the next event, Robert Carras. So I was like, well, how big is he on social media? I mean, he's got 82,000 followers on Instagram, and he's an Ironman triathlete. Great, good for him. So that's just one of those things. Also, if we take a look at the other fighters, who do we got? Pietra Selic nailed it, and he's on Instagram, 186,000 followers. Who else we got? We got Norman Storman Parkey. Okay, I guess. And here's Norman Parkey, nailed it. And again, so he's got 23,000 followers here on Twitter, which isn't too much, but I mean, who knows how much he's got on Instagram, whatever else. But the thing that, because he's in the next one, what are they doing? They are promoting the token, and every single one of them does it. Also, I will say this, this lady right here, Zuji, I guess. I probably said her name right. That's her right there. And she's already fought. And not a good looking picture, I must admit. But she was in the previous ones. She was in Fame MMA 12, blah, 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 8 and whatever else. Just so you know, somebody like her on Instagram, she has 3.2 million followers. So again, if we're taking a look at the hardest part of getting a crypto in the public consciousness, it is the marketing and getting it in there. So how hard do you think these guys are going to work to talk about this crypto project when they're going to be fighting and their salary is paid in Fame MMA tokens and their NFTs and their commissions and everything else? I think it is a flywheel effect, but that's just me. So fighters will receive a portion of salary if they fight with the percentage increase over time. Main goal is to educate our partners to accept the maximum amount of our tokens to increase awareness and incentivize for the promotion. Sounds good. Merchandise, you can get all this stuff with the Fame token. And of course, they get a discount if they use the token. So why not? If you're, I mean, that looks cool stuff. Great. Okay. And then this was interesting. Franchising. To expand the Fame business on a global scale, they're going to do a franchise mechanism. Allow the Fame MMA business model to be adopted by partners in other countries. Partners will make an investment through the Fame token and be able to carry the Fame brand in their own jurisdiction and run events. Let me blow this up so you can see it. So this is where they're at. Poland, right? We are currently in negotiation with several nationalities to initiate the first franchise sales. Details of such expansion will be provided as soon as the business is officially confirmed by agreement. And remember that gentleman, the guy who was Stormin Norman? So he's from Ireland. And of course, he's an MMA fighter. He's also fought in UFC. I think he was a UFC winner at one point. And so if you've got branching out, I think that would make a lot of sense to go into those areas like it talks about. So interesting. NFTs, big buzzword. Contracted superstars creates many additional revenue avenues. One area is the issuance of special and unique collectible NFTs of the fighters, which of course their fans will want to have. And how do they get that? The Fame token. And that's how they purchase the NFTs. And then of course, to incentivize token holders and loyal supporters of projects, special discounts on tickets, merchandise, NFTs, and exclusivity like VIP stuff for Fame token holders, which makes a lot of sense, I think. And then staking. Again, make sure they do it all. A dedicated staking platform is being developed to encourage investors to hold the token long-term, which is, I think, in my opinion, it's great that we do this and we know about this and everything else, but how do we stop the dumping? Well, if you can have, I don't know, a staking mechanism like they have right here, maybe people hold on to it for a long time. Again, the devil's in the details, and we'll see how much the actual APR or yield is moving forward. And a large portion of the total supply of Fame tokens in the original tokenomics is being allocated to the staking platform. My question is this: how much is it? And that would bring me to my next piece, the tokenomics. And this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where projects thrive or completely fail. This is not bad. This is actually pretty good. Total supply is 10 billion tokens. And especially for what you're doing, I think 10 billion is acceptable for what you're trying to do as far as grow into a global brand. So first up, how does it break down? And can we get dumped on? That's all I care about. Company reserve is 5%. Okay, so they got the reserve, but there's a vesting period of 2 years. And it says released each block, but they mean released each day. So they get a small percentage, 0.0, whatever it is. Private sale. Again, 10% on the generation event and 90% vesting over a year. The public sale, which is what we're going to talk about now. 10%, TENSET gem launch platform. Again, 10% on you get on the token generation event, 90% vesting over a year. So you can't just get the tokens and dump within like a month or a week or 2 days or 3 months. It has to take over, it's vesting over 3 years, 1,095 days. Contracted fighters, they get 10%. And again, long vesting period for 365 days or 1 full year. They get 20% on the event and 80% over a year. Exchange listings. Now, this is where you want to see growth, right? So teams, employees, advisors, contracted fighters. I mean, the fighters, maybe they should do a little more, but that's just me. But that's your lifeblood, right? But you got to do it for the exchanges because people like you and me are going to buy retail. That's going to be 15%. The franchise system, that's going to be 20%. And again, there's lockup periods. And this is the big one. Games and staking, a quarter. 25% is going to be locked for games and staking. That's a lot. And again, 90% vesting over 2 years. And then this is the big thing right here. I need you to focus on this. The FAME token is based on the Binance Smart Chain. If this project would have been built on Ethereum, I would have passed a long time ago because there's no way it can do all this stuff with the fees. If it was a different, there's no way it could happen. But with Binance Smart Chain, let's be honest, it's pretty centralized. But man, is it fast, and man, is it cheap. So it's amazing. Some people say, everything can be decentralized. Well, that goes out the window when there's price appreciation. And then lastly, we get to the pre-sale price. It's a penny. It's a penny. It's a penny right now. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that it's going to go to $100? No. Does that mean it can't go to, I don't know, 0.0005 and everything's lost? Potentially. And these are the risks we take. And that's why we try to take a look at the utility. What does this thing do? We take a look at the tokenomics. Well, are we going to get dumped on? And of course, we take a look at the team. What have they done? How far have they gone? And with this one, in a very short amount of time, 2018, these guys have done a massive run-up. So we'll see how it all works out. That would lead me to my next point. How do we get into the private sale? And versus the regular exchange via TENSET. So that is a little bit more tricky. So real quick, FAME MMA token will be available in an IDO phase exclusively on the TENSET Gem Launch platform. And this is from FAME MMT. What the heck is that? Okay, well, this is TENSET. The next round of the TGLP locks in 3 days. Limited offer of 4,500 TENSET, starting at 1,100 ETC. Offer ends when 9,750 total subs reach or 250 spots open. What does that gobbledygook all mean? Here's what it comes down to. This is the TENSET Gem Launch platform. It's just a launch platform, just like we've seen in other different cryptos. But this is what they have. This is how it works. Gem Launch platform. Invest in projects with potential. And the pre-sale allows the ETF portfolio to grow rapidly, as TENSET will also invest in this project, which is a little bit different, I think. And it's welcome, that's for sure. They also launched MetaHero, which experienced 170x in the first few months since launch. Yeah, roughly. And I think even TENSET and even MetaHero started at like a penny. Then it went up, I think like a quarter, which took like 2 or 3 weeks, and then off it went. And then Everdome, and you've heard me talk about that on this channel, reached 92x in just a week after launching. Now, let me be clear. Let me be crystal clear. Just because that says it, does that mean that all these products will do that? No. Past performance does not equal what's going to happen in the present. I forgot the phrase, but that's essentially what it is. So even though it sounds good, it is risky. So do your due diligence. Anyhow, so here's how it works. They're looking for a max cap of 10,000 subscribers. Yesterday, it was 9,500. And now they have 9,750 because every couple of weeks, they actually open it up. In a little bit of time, they're going to open it up as well for 250 more subscribers. So how does that work? Well, actually, there's a link in the description for this website. You're going to go there. You're going to click on subscribe. Under subscribe, you're going to click on connect wallet. And that'll connect whatever wallet that you actually have. And you need a subscription with a certain amount of TENSET tokens. How many TENSET tokens? Well, it told us here, right here, 4,500 TENSET tokens. Well, that's what you need to get into that private sale or that pre-sale. So then the question you're asking is, Rob, well, how much is that? It's a lot of money. And like I said, it was thousands of dollars. TENSET is $369 for one token. So right now you're doing a lot of math. It's around $16,000 to get into this private sale, because that's what you need to get into this part here where you subscribe. Is that for everybody? Absolutely not. Is that a choice that you have to have or you have to make to get in this private sale? It is. That's why I told you in the very beginning, that's what it is. Does that mean that you can't buy this crypto later on another exchange? You can. And I think it's going to do very well over the next couple of years, especially with the growth of MMA and the way that they're doing the marketing. This could be an option if that's something for you, but it's limited. But also, I will tell you this. Here's the other advantages of TENSET. And when we take a look at the TENSET, when you actually buy that crypto, by purchasing and locking TENSET, you'll receive a lucrative passive income from many different tokens, probably some of the ones that are in the launchpad. Some of the tokens participating in Infinity have not yet been listed, so offer potential for large growth in the future. So again, they do a ton of different airdrops just for holding TENSET, which is pretty good. And something I want to make mention of this. Total TENSET token value locked right here. $64 million is locked just in this one token. How does that compare to all DeFi? Well, if you take a look at DeFi Llama, see this right here where it says, blow this up, TVL. Number one is Ethereum. Ethereum is the number one total value locked in all of DeFi, 117 billion. And for TENSET, they've got 64 million, which would actually give it to be in the top 50. Go figure. Because in the top 50, Wan Chain is 52 million, Nervos is 56, I guess, and KCC is 64 million. So again, just them with that 64 million, they're in the top 50 of all DeFi for total value locked. Pretty interesting. And then for this also, so you're going to get airdrops as well for the TENSET, also get into the private sale. TENSET buybacks, they do this. Buybacks are a core function of a TENSET project where we use profits generated by the portfolio to purchase TENSET tokens on the market and burn it for deflation. So you get the token and they burn it out. They do it on the Conga exchange and Pancake Swap as well. So the next question you're probably asking is, well, what's the supply? This is the crazy part. I didn't talk about this. The total supply of TENSET is only 198 million, 153,542. That's it. That's the total supply. So in this video, I'm actually talking about two. I'm actually about TENSET and FAM MMA. Next question is, where do I buy it? What's limited? I'll tell you that. Uniswap, PancakeSwap, Bitmart, Gate.io, BingX, I don't know what that is, BKX, LBank, and Dcoin. And that is essentially what it all comes down to. So that would lead me to my last point, the pros and the cons. And I think you can kind of figure out what it is, but this is how I see it. Here's the pros, I feel. It's an excellent marketing. I mean, you can't deny that. And I think that's again, what's going to take them to the top, 90% of the battle. It's got fantastic utility, everything you want, pay-per-view, play to earn, fighter salaries, merch, NFT staking, everything that should be there. And then there's heavy global growth as the organization expands. Remember, it's just in Poland. Imagine when they get other bigger or just big influencers, TikTokers, YouTubers to fight. I'm not fighting, but I'm just saying, wouldn't that be amazing as they branch out to the globe? And what would that do for the token itself? Tokenomics are decent. It's tough to dump. And really, I got to ask you, who'd want to, especially when you take a look at what it could be. And then, of course, airdrops and it's deflationary for the TENSET token like we just talked about. So that's the pros. Let's talk about the cons. And I think we all know that. The TGLP cost of 4,500 TENSET is steep. It comes down to 16,605. But that's to get into that pre-sale. Now, later on, as it gets in the exchanges, I'll be buying it, and I'll tell you that's what it is. And also, just so you know, I didn't get paid. This is not a paid promotion for this project for FameMMA. They don't pay me a dime. But I will tell you this: I will be getting into that private sale, and I will be holding for a while, and I'll probably be staking. And I'll probably do a video on staking. So just so you know, just to be transparent. Also, the business model might fail. So just so you know that not everything is 100% guaranteed. Go take a look in your hometown. Take a look at the strip malls that are out there and how many businesses have already closed. This business model might not work. People might say, I don't know what crypto is. I don't want to accept it. I think that's a stretch, but it might. So you have to be aware. And then even with the TGLP subscription, you can only buy $1,000 worth of that FAME token. So just even if you get into that 16,000 price tag for getting that subscription, you can still only buy $1,000 worth of FAME token. But I got to tell you, at a penny, how much do you think it's going to go up for? So just saying. And as always, this is very risky, not financial advice. So you have to do your own research. So again, final thoughts is I think you do well. There's a lot of things that are out there. It's very risky, but I think it's a solid plan. And the utility is fantastic as far as well as the marketing. So that's it. So look, if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing because a lot of things we talk about here are the riskier parts of different projects and diversifying. If you like that, subscribe. That's it for today. So thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one.